Hello, YouTube. Hello, I hope it doesn't start to get super noisy. How are we all going? I was quite literally about to, oh my God, let me clean the camera. I was quite literally about to record a podcast, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow because I want to record a few back to back. But today we're going to jump straight into it because I have my group coaching match for money call that is happening very soon. So I'm just going to go prep for that. But I'm going to talk about two ways that you can start to elevate your life. And this is really inspired by the conversations I've been having inside my Boxer containers today, specifically with my masterminders. My mastermind is Wool Mastery Mastermind. Wool Mastery means woman mastery. We go through three different phases to help you elevate your success and your fulfillment in all areas of your life. And this is like what I'm going to speak to you about today, about two ways to elevate your life. I promise you, if you start to implement them, and they're things you can implement, like one of them, it's not coming nighttime for Australia, but wherever you are in the world, you will be able to implement one of them, like quite literally right now after this live. So go and do it. And when we speak about elevation of life, like what comes to mind when I say elevate your life? What comes to mind when I say like elevate your routine or elevate the way you're living, right? For me, it's like this upgraded version. I almost see it as like going up, as progressing up, as like beaming up somewhere where I'm not in a very expansive way. Like I see it as a very expansive word. And so the first one, so two ways I'm going to share with you tonight. The first way that you can start to elevate your life is start to really refine and fine tune your morning routine. And before you click off, I know you've heard this probably in a million YouTubes, in a million posts, but hear me out. I have been refining my morning routine specifically. I will speak about this more in depth on the Jessica Pinili podcast sometime, but I've been refining it specifically to kind of trial it out in like what a morning routine really means to me after all these years in personal development over the past 30 days. Today was day 30. And yes, I've had a morning routine for years and years and years, but I wanted to get really specific. And why I say this is going to elevate your life is because the way that you were starting your days, the way that you were starting your mornings is going to create a flow and effect for the rest of your day. Now, before any of you come up here and say, I have a corporate job or I'm a mom, like I'm too busy, I coach majority mothers, single mothers as well. And half of my women are also corporate women who go to 9 to 5s, who start their days and create a morning routine to get them into the vibe of success. It's just like the vibration of CEO Monday. CEO Monday is all about how can I create success to flow in for the rest of my week. Your morning routine does not need to be 50 hours long. It can be 15 minutes long. Honestly, it can be 15 minutes long. I think like let's break down the stigma that we have to have hours and hours. If I have a day that's more free, like I'm going to spend more time on my morning routine, but I've also made it to be able to scale back. So if I have 15 minutes, if I have a short amount of time, like I did this morning because I had client calls. I started at 6 a.m. Sorry about the dog in the background. But I started early. And so it's being able to have a routine that you can implement or can like flow into. Like if you're a business owner, you can probably break it up in your morning, but it needs to be achieved. If you're a corporate girly, if you are someone with kids, this is very achievable as well. So curating the perfect morning routine for yourself is going to help elevate your life because it's going to show you what standards you are setting for your life. What do you expect from yourself? I've been having a lot of conversations as well around what standards are you setting for yourself? What standards are you setting for the way that you're living life? What standards are you setting for being able to create the life that you love? And when you create the life that you love, you're going to wake up, you're going to feel inspired, you're going to feel excited. So start to think, what is a morning routine that I can get behind, that I can back? I've tried personally many different morning routines and rituals that I've seen on like TikTok and Instagram, seem very aesthetic and all of that, yada, yada, yada. And I hated them. I absolutely hated them. I did like it. It was such a grind to do them. It just felt like, oh, I'm just doing this for the sake of it. So there is no right or wrong. I'm not going to, and like if you do want to hear specifics, like I can do a live or a podcast a podcast episode on this, but start to create a morning routine that's going to help you feel inspired, that's going to help you feel refreshed, that's going to help you feel excited for your day. It doesn't mean you're always going to have a good day. No. Are you going to have shitty days? Of course you are, right? It's about being a human being. We're not into toxic positivity here, right? We're into being realists. We're into understanding that we still have bad days, but how can we set our mindset up, our subconscious mind, our nervous system up to expect the best, right? And when you expect the best out of your day and you're allowing yourself to set yourself up for success, that's really what it is. Great things come. The things that you desire start to manifest. And so really start to think, how can I create and curate a morning routine that is going to set me up for success, that is going to help me progress, which flows into number 2 of elevating your life, is having some form of self-reflection. Some form of self reflection that is both daily and weekly. Again, self reflection doesn't mean you need to sit down for hours and you're like at it in your journal going for hours and hours and hours. No. Self reflection is basically you look at 2 things: what worked and what didn't work. And so, if we're looking at the end of the day, what worked today in your business, like quickly in your head, sometimes, majority of the time, I'm going to be honest, I don't even write it down. I reflect as I'm getting into bed or as I'm like winding down, or if it's my turn to cook dinner. I just think like what worked really well, what didn't work well, where were my sticky points, where was I procrastinating, where did I feel a drop in energy, where did I feel a drop in discipline, where do I feel a drop in inspiration, and then go from there. And then, of course, we want to praise ourselves. We want to acknowledge the things that are going really, really well. What worked well? What were the great conversations? What were the inspiring things? Even now, as I'm speaking, I'm starting to reflect on my day. Like it's 5 p.m. here, I have 2 calls to go. I'm still starting to reflect on the things that weren't going so well, but the things that are great, have created great success for me today. And so, having a system where you reflect daily, that takes 1 minute in your head, and then another system to get to the end of the week, preferably a Saturday or a Sunday, where you do sit down and it's you just look at the week as a whole. You look at your personal life and you look at your business or career. And for me, I look at my personal life, I look at my business, and I see on a whole what is moving the needle forward, what isn't moving the needle forward. What I see, like I made a thread the other day, and I was saying that, oh, was it a thread or was it a story? But I was saying there's 2 types of ambitious people: people who have huge goals, huge desires, but they stay on the hamster wheel. And then people who have these huge goals, ambitions, desires, but they're moving the needle forward as much as possible. They have the determination, they have the drive, right? Which requires discipline, which requires focus. And so which one are you? You can be as ambitious, like people can call themselves ambitious and have these huge goals and like this beautiful vision board. But if you're doing nothing about that ambition, if you're not moving the needle forward, nothing is going to change in your life. But how do we start to recognize that? Self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful tools that you can start to utilize, one of the most powerful tools that you can start to utilize. And so, 2 ways, let's recap before I get off this, to elevate your life. Number 1, curate a pristine morning routine that is solely yours, that works for you. Yes, of course, you can take inspo from TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest, and sometimes it may take a bit of trial and error, but the goal that you want to feel is like you want to feel refreshed, energized, inspired, excited for the day. You want to also be able to tap into, like, the work I do is all around subconscious reprogramming, so it's all about being able to tap into yourself subconsciously to create more success and to feed that into yourself. And then number 2, self-reflection on the daily, while you're making dinner, while you're in the shower, while you're brushing your hair. And then at the end of the week, sit down with your journal, look at what's moved the needle, what hasn't. This requires us to kind of omit the ego and be really, really honest, even if we like something or even if we're biased towards it. Being honest if it's actually moved the needle in our business, career, relationships, money, health, wealth, like everything. So I hope this has helped. And I hope this has given you some ideas of kind of like where to start if you're looking for this elevation. And like I said, this has been truly inspired by my masterminders, the conversations we've been having today. And the mastermind is open, application only, and it is about elevating your success and elevating your fulfillment across the board: wealth, relationships, career, and business. And we do this through subconscious reprogramming. And so if you're like this is inspiring you, any of my other lives or my podcast episodes on my channel, definitely like apply for the mastermind or slide into my DMs over on Instagram at Just Pinelli. We can have a chat about it. But yeah, I just when I was speaking to my masterminders today, I'm like, this is a great topic. I think it's important to speak about like how can we start to elevate our life? Like what does that actually look like and what does it mean? So let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this. If you're enjoying my lives and my podcast episodes, definitely hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate every single one of you that are here and watching, everyone over on TikTok as well. But I'm going to go. I need to prep for my second last call of the night, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.